Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sports Television. Today I'm releasing my second mock draft for the NFL draft that will take place, its first round, on April 28th and the subsequent days after. For this draft specifically, I will be doing a 3-round draft for my 2.0 mock. If you like the content, please subscribe, like, and comment on anything you would change or any suggestions for future videos. Your feedback is really important to this channel, and it's meant for all sports lovers. So if there's any particular topic you want me to cover, sport, tell me what sport and what you'd like me to do with it. Now let's get into the picks. Jacksonville Jaguars on the board in round 1. I think this is a no-brainer. Trevor Lawrence. Second one is the Jets. They are going to pick a quarterback. That was a question a few weeks ago until they traded Sam Darnold. So I'm going to go with quarterback, and I'm going to go with Zach Wilson as the quarterback. The 49ers are up next, but we see back-to-back-to-back quarterbacks for the first time in a long while in the NFL draft. I think we will. That was a particular move up that occurred, and it's going to be a quarterback. Who do they think is good enough to move up for? I doubt it's Mac Jones. They could have got him later. I don't think it's Mac Jones. I think it's either Trey Lance or Justin Fields. I'm going to lean for a surprise pick here. I'm going to go Trey Lance over Justin Fields. Now we have the Falcons. Everyone's thinking they're going to pick Kyle Pitts, but I am going to consider other options just in case that does change. So I'm sort of considering a Justin Fields here, possibly if he drops. Edge-wise, there's no real edge that's worth picking that high right now. Cornerback-wise, unless you're picking Surtain, you don't go that high. So you do go Kyle Pitts here. They're going to pick Kyle Pitts. Bengals, I'm thinking a wide receiver here, or a tackle, possibly to protect Joe Burrow. I'm going to go with a tackle, though, to protect Joe Burrow after he tore his ACL, I believe. I'm going to go Penei Sewell out of Oregon. Dolphins, they traded down, got more picks, and get the wide receiver that they want. They're going to have a choice between Waddle, Smith, and Chase. Kind of pick your poison on who you prefer more. I do have them narrowly leaning towards Jamar Chase. I have them going 6th overall. Lions, I think the Lions are going to think about a cornerback. They did pick a cornerback 3 overall. Was it second? Third overall last year. So I doubt they go cornerback again. I think that they go wide receiver. And they pick between Smith and Waddle. Waddle has injury concerns. Possibly he could fall. When he's healthy, he's one of the best players on the field. Smith lit it up at Alabama. I have them going Devontae Smith. I have the Lions worrying about Waddle. I have them going Smith. Now we have the Panthers. I have the Panthers seriously considering a cornerback here in Surtain. Also, briefly looking at Slater and Darrisaw. I think, however, they go cornerback here, and they go Patrick Surtain out of Alabama. Broncos are on the board. They're going to look into linebacker. They could pick Parsons here if they want to. Cornerback-wise, they just lost Surtain. Do they go Horn? I don't think they go Horn. Quarterback-wise, is Drew Lock the future? No. I think that they go Justin Fields here at 9th overall. Next up is the Dallas Cowboys. They need a cornerback. Horn is on the board as well as Farley. However, offensive tackle-wise, they do have 2 solid options that are on the board still. Edge-wise, I think it's too high, too much of a reach to pick that high. So I have them picking between a tackle and a cornerback. So I probably have them narrowly leaning on picking Rashawn Slater over a cornerback. So I have them picking Slater, 10th overall. New York Giants, I think the New York Giants would love to have Waddle on the team. However, if you look at their needs, they need a cornerback, they need linebackers. And sitting there is Micah Parsons. However, after losing the wide receivers that they did, I have them picking Waddle as their replacement for Kenny Golladay. Eagles just missed out on wide receiver, don't have them reaching. Tight end-wise, there's nothing that excites you to reach even more, so I don't have them doing that as well. I have them considering cornerback in Horn. I have them ultimately going cornerback in J.C. Horn. Chargers are going to heavily consider tackle. They need a tackle. However, I'm going to have my first trade. If I can do it. I don't think I can. I can't do it, so I won't do it. However, I do think that this could be a traded pick to a team that has an offensive tackle that needs to be shipped, like the Ravens and Orlando Brown, where they would trade their 13th for Orlando Brown. But in this case, I have them going tackle because that's assuming they don't have one. And then they have a pick your poison between Darisaw and Jenkins. I have them going Tevin Jenkins. Next up are the Vikings. They need an edge desperately. Jalen Phillips is sitting on that board for them still. They also do need a interior lineman in Elijah Vera Tucker. Also a reach. Offensive tackle, they have Darisaw still on the board. I think they go Darisaw out of Virginia Tech. Patriots, they're picking a quarterback. They're going to pick Mac Jones. Cardinals up next. Have them considering Farley. I have them ultimately pivoting and picking Micah Parsons out of Penn State. By the way, if I'm going quick, I have to. I don't want to make this video long because I know you guys want to get your teams, so I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible with explaining as much as I can. If you have any questions on why I picked something, comment and I'll explain it in further detail. Raiders, they're going to consider tackle. Too much for they're not going to reach. Linebacker, they do have Zaven Collins on the board. Safety-wise, they go Trevon Moehrig this high. They possibly could. IOL-wise, Vera Tucker's on the board. I have Vikings reach. They always reach in every single draft. I have them going not Zaven Collins. I have them going safety and picking Trevon Moehrig out of TCU. Dolphins just got a big need out of the way. I have them considering Edge and Phillips here. I have them ultimately going running back, however, and picking up Najee Harris out of Alabama. The Washington football team desperately needs a tackle and a running back. And a wide receiver for that matter. And I have them not picking a tackle this high. I do have them considering Zaven Collins. Safety's off the board. Caleb Farley's right there for them if they really want him. Due to him dropping because of injury concerns, I have them going Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. The Bears are up. I have them considering tackle, ultimately pivoting heavily towards wide receiver and having their pick out of Bateman, Toney, and Marshall. I have them going Kadarius Toney, however, out of Florida. Colts, they're not going to pick a tackle. I can tell you that right away. They're going to go cornerback or wide receiver. I have them going cornerback ultimately and picking up Caleb Farley. Tennessee Titans are up. I have them also considering a quarterback. They just lost their big guy, though. So wide receiver is definitely an option. Have Bateman on the board. Tackle-wise, too risky to trade up. Safety-wise, too risky. Tight end-wise, too risky. Linebacker-wise, they do have Owosu Karamoa on the board still. I don't have them reaching that heavy. I have them going cornerback or wide receiver. I have them leaning wide receiver and picking up Rashad Bateman. The Jets are up. They're going to go edge. They're going to pick between Phillips, Payne, and Ojulari. Possibly away here. I have them leaning towards Kwity Paye, however. Definitely a consistent guy. So I'm going to have them picking Kwity Paye here. Steelers are up. Need a cornerback. Cornerback-wise, not looking too hot. Tackle, not looking too hot. IOL, interior lineman. They do have a Vera Tucker on the board, and I have them either considering that or going running back. I have them going running back ultimately, picking up Travis Etienne out of Clemson. Once again, Jaguars up on the board here. I have them considering a wide receiver in Terrence Marshall or Elijah Moore. I have them ultimately also considering safety, lost their safety. So I have them going tackle here to protect their new quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. And I have them picking Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. Browns are up. I have them picking linebacker here. I have them picking Owusu Karamoa. Ravens, I considered picking Marshall here for the Ravens. However, I pivoted towards an edge. I have them getting Jalen Phillips out of Miami. Saints on the board. I have the Saints also picking an edge and picking Azeez Ojulari. Packers, they need a tackle and a wide receiver. I have them going wide receiver and going Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss. Bills on the board. I have the Bills considering an edge in Jason Away and ultimately going Jason Away. Chiefs up. Have the Chiefs also thinking wide receiver and Terrence Marshall or going tackle. I think they most likely go tackle here. Have a choice between Cosme Eichenberg and Renduns. I have them picking ultimately Liam Eichenberg out of Notre Dame. Finally, the Bucs need a wide receiver. They do have Terrence Marshall and Rondale Moore on the board. However, due to the depth of the class, I have them going edge and ultimately picking Joe Tyron out of Washington or possibly pivoting to Christian Barmore. I have them doing that and going Christian Barmore out of Alabama. Second round is next. Definitely going to make this one go quicker. If you need help deciding, look at this bar here. But I will say the name when I draft it. Wide receiver, we're going to go Marshall. They need a cornerback or a running back. Running back wise, nothing good. They do have Javonte Williams here. Do they go that? I don't know. I think they go cornerback and go Greg Newsome. Falcons also need a cornerback. They go Stokes. Edge is what the Dolphins need. They go Joe Tyron. Eagles need a wide receiver. They go wide receiver here. They go Diami Brown out of North Carolina. Bengals also need a wide receiver. I think that they are going to go Amari Rodgers or Rondale Moore. I have them going Rondale Moore. Panthers need a tackle. I have them going Samuel Cosme. Broncos linebacker. I considered Jamin Davis. I also considered Kelvin Joseph. However, I'm definitely going to go with Jamin Davis. Lions up next. I have Lions going cornerback or tackle. Not a lot of good options on the board. I have them reaching and going Dylan Randuns. Giants need an edge. Basham's on this board. I'm going to go Carlos Basham Jr. Also need an edge. The 49ers, however, they're going to go pivot towards IOL. And they're going to get Vera Tucker, who's dropped tremendously, but eventually will be picked up. Cornerback or edge. I probably have the Cowboys going tight end here possibly and going Pat Freiermuth in a reach pick, but I think a pick they'll make. Safety, I don't have them picking safety. Running back, however, there is Javonte Williams on the board. I have them going him. Patriots, I think they will want to go linebacker here. So they have the choice between Bolton and Browning. I think they go Nick Bolton out of Missouri. Chargers, they need a safety and an edge. I have them considering Ronnie Perkins. But I have them ultimately going Kelvin Joseph. I have the Raiders going in IOL and going Landon Dickinson out of Alabama. I have the Cardinals also considering an IOL and a wide receiver. I have them eventually going Amari Rodgers out of Clemson. Dolphins, they're going to go IOL as well. They're going to pick up, probably going to pick up Wyatt Davis out of Ohio State. Washington football team also needs an offensive tackle, and they also need a safety. I have them considering safety, and I have them eventually going Jamar Johnson out of Indiana. Bears need a QB. They're not going to reach, I don't think, on either of these prospects. However, I do have them leaning cornerback and picking Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State. Titans also need a cornerback. I have them going Aaron Robinson out of UCF. Colts on the board. I have the Colts possibly going wide receiver here. Big time depth at the wide receiver position down here. I, however, have them pivoting towards an offense tackle and going Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan. Steelers, they need a cornerback. They also need a tackle and an IOL. I have them considering a lot of positions here. Eventually, they are going to go Creed Humphrey out of Oklahoma. Seahawks on the board, they need an edge. They're going to consider one of these three edges. I think they're going to go with the guy with the biggest upside and click Gregory Rousseau. Rams also need a tackle and an IOL. I have them considering a tackle. I also have them considering a tight end in Brevin Jordan and Tommy Tremble. However, I'm going to give them the tight end out of Boston College, who's been rising immensely in Hunter Long. Ravens, they need a safety and a wide receiver. Safety-wise, you do have Javon Holland on the board who they could pick. Wide receiver-wise, Nico Collins is still on the board that they could pick. Tight Tackle-wise, that's if Orlando Brown goes, so we're assuming that does not happen. Tight end, I don't have them reaching there. So I do have them considering an IOL here. In possibly a Josh Myers or Quinn Menendez, who's out of Wisconsin Whitewater, a Division I player. However, I do have the Ravens going to the safety position and picking Javon Holland out of Oregon. Browns are up. I have Browns going edge. And I ultimately have them going Osai out of Texas. Saints need a center, cornerback and a wide receiver. I have them going a wide receiver in Nico Collins. Bills, they need a running back big time. I have them considering a running back and ultimately going Michael Carter out of North Carolina. Packers, they need a tackle. I have them considering a lot of these guys, but ultimately going Brady Christensen out of BYU. Chiefs, I have the Chiefs considering a wide receiver and going Amon-Ra St. Brown out of USC. Finally, the Bucks. I have the Bucks going edge and going Ronnie Perkins out of Oklahoma. Okay, start of round 3. I have Jacksonville going safety here. Considering a lot of these guys, I ultimately have them going cornerback, possibly tight end. I actually have them going tight end, and they'll pick Brevin Jordan out of Miami. Jets, they need a running back. Running back-wise, they do have Trey Sermon on the board, who has an interesting upside. However, they go wide receiver here. I have them going Dwayne Eskridge out of Western Michigan. Houston, with its first pick in round 3, I have them going IDL and going Levy out of Washington. A lot of good IDLs still on the board. I have the Falcons picking a quarterback here. I have them picking Davis Mills out of Stanford. Bengals, I have the Bengals going tight end and Tommy Tremble. Eagles, they also need a tight end and a safety. I have them going Richie Grant out of UCF. Broncos, I have the Broncos going cornerback in Elijah Molden. Lions, I have the Lions considering a QB, and I have them picking Kellen Mond out of Texas A&M. Panthers, we're going to go tight end or QB. Just lost a big QB. I don't think they go there. They could go IOL in Quinn Menendez, and I have them picking just that. Washington football team up. They need to tackle big time. I think that they're going to not pick any of these guys. And however, buffer to the safety position and pick Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. I also have the Cowboys following up, picking a cornerback and picking this guy out of Syracuse. Next up, the Giants. I have the Giants going linebacker and picking Baring Browning out of Ohio State. Chargers. I have Chargers going edge and picking Peyton Turner out of Houston. Vikings also have an edge. I have them going IOL, however. Possibly considering Josh Myers. We're going to look at the list here quickly. IOL-wise, they could go edge. They somewhat need a cornerback, but they could pick Janarius Robinson. However, they probably pick an IOL, so they probably pick Josh Myers out of Ohio State. Raiders also need a tackle or a linebacker. They have Jabril Cox on the board. I think they go there. Possibly Surratt out of North Carolina. I have actually them buffering to Surratt. They're up again. I have them now picking tackle and picking Carmen out of Clemson. Now we have the Dolphins. They need a linebacker, and they have Cox still on the board. I think they go him. Washington football team needs a tackle still. I have them going Spencer Brown out of Northern Iowa. Bears need a QB. I have them going Kyle Trask out of Florida. We have the Eagles who need tight end. They're not going to reach on that. Linebacker-wise, Pete Werner still on the board. I have him going him out of Ohio State. Tennessee Titans now. I have them considering a safety here in Divine Diablo from Virginia Tech. Jets up. I have the Jets considering running back heavily and going Kenneth Gainwell out of Memphis. Steelers, I have them going cornerback. I have them picking Paulson Adebo out of Stanford. Now we have the Rams. This is the first one I kind of debated a little bit. A lot of high IDLs. They don't really need one. They need an IOL. They have Ben Cleveland on the board. However, they do need a linebacker, but nothing really good there. I think they go Ben Cleveland. Next team, Browns, they pick a wide receiver here. They pick Tylan Wallace out of Oklahoma State. Vikings up. I have the Vikings going edge and picking Quincy Roche out of Miami. Browns up again. I have the Browns picking IDL and going David Nixon out of Iowa. Packers up. I have the Packers considering an IDL as well. I'm picking between these two. I have them going Tommy Togiai out of Ohio State. Bills up. I have the Bills going wide receiver right now. I have them going, considering Tutu Atwell. I think they picked Tutu Atwell. Now we have the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs going linebacker or possibly an IDL. And there's a lot of good IDLs on the board. I have them going Milton Williams, however. Now, next up are the Bucks. I do have the Bucks considering running back and Trey Sermon and ultimately going Trey Sermon. Patriots. I have the Patriots considering cornerback and safety. I have them going safety, though. Picking the guy out of Florida State. Chargers. I have the Chargers also considering wide receiver. However, there's not a lot on the board left. Safety-wise, not much. IOL, I have them going Trey Smith out of Tennessee. Saints up. Saints need a cornerback. They're going to go Benjamin St. Just out of Minnesota. Cowboys, I have them going edge and picking Janarius Robinson out of Florida State. 100th pick of the video. Titans, I have the Titans going offense tackle, picking Stone Forsythe out of Florida. Vikings, I have the Vikings considering a linebacker and going Cameron McGrone out of Michigan. 49ers, they need an edge. I have them going Jordan Smith out of UAB. Rams, they need a tackle. Also need a linebacker. I have them going James Hudson out of Cincinnati. Second to last, we have the Ravens, who need a wide receiver. I think they're going to take a look in the wide receiver department. A lot of good guys on the board still they could think about. Tackle-wise, they don't need tackle because that's assuming they don't trade him. IOL, they could go Deontay Brown at Alabama. They like Alabama players. That's who I ultimately have them going. Lastly, we have the Saints. I have the Saints considering everyone on the board going an IDL ultimately and going Jay Tufili out of USC. Okay, thank you everyone for watching this video. I'm going to quickly scroll through my picks. If you want to pause it, you can. Slow it down, see who I picked again for your team. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Bit of a longer one. I'm trying to cover everyone's team in the most equal way possible, so you can just scroll to your team and look and see why I picked that person for your team and why not. If you want additional explanation on why I picked somebody, just type down in the comments and I'll give you a little explanation. Some of it is simply that I know that the teams aren't going to pick the exact rankings that's on this, so there's always some difference in that. So thank you everyone for watching Sports Television. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. Once again, subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and just keep watching. I appreciate everyone's support. I will make a 3.0 draft in the incoming future. Everyone stay safe and have a good day. Thank you, everyone.